Fresh start, take 2.
All right. We appreciate you all clicking on the video, tuning in to watch. Well, what is this video going to be about? This guy, Trooper Bri.
I got the big FIU from the... FIU, you thought you was digging into something nice, huh?
Today, Keebs, myself, Trooper Bri, Smokin' Joe, we're just going to do a little bit of reflecting and talk about how and when Trooper Bri found stealth diggers and then became one.
Very complex. Involved paddles, candles.
A cavern in the mountain.
Cavern in the mountain.
Naked women.
Yeah, well,
No.
that's how we get you to stay around, you know? Let's start out right back to the beginning. How did you find stealth diggers?
All right, I'll go back a little farther even. December of 2013 after Christmas, a good friend of mine says, hey, let me show you what the girlfriend got me for Christmas. So he opens up the closet door, he pulls out this big black bag, and first thing I think of is a new gun.
Or an inflatable woman.
Or an inflatable woman to go with his real woman. No, he's got a bounty hunter metal detector. And I said, cool, neat. You know, at the time, I was a fisherman. I really, you know, metal detecting didn't really cross my mind. So fast forward, it goes back in the closet. We get to springtime in Connecticut. Now, right about May, that metal detector's in my head pretty deep. I'm watching videos, starting to figure out what everybody's doing with metal detectors. I'm finding out that these guys go out in the woods, do this stuff looking for old homes. So now I'm really hooked. And by Memorial Weekend of 2014, I purchased my first detector, which was the same thing everybody else buys, which is a Garrett ATGOLD.
Right.
Still cramming on videos, and I know I've seen a couple stealth diggers up to this point. And finally in June, 19.5 drops, which is the trash cache, if I remember right.
The trash cache.
And being a fisherman, we had a lot of fun. We did all kinds of crazy stuff on the ice. So what do I see in the trash cache? You and Thunder Chief with Bob in the back seat, the bag over his head, tell him, you know, verbally berating him, tell him, you better be digging 60 holes a minute, and you better find silver.
Right, and we did the sensory deprivation.
Hey, shut up back there. Oh yeah, did I mention we have a guest? Quiet back there.
Where are you guys taking me?
Hey, you made the agreement. And you better produce silver.
That's what it takes if you want to roll with us.
Yeah, try to do people a favor and be nice.
Yeah, that was Bob's first time out here, and we knew he was all right because he went along with it. So you caught on pretty early because 19.5, that was only into the second spring of stealth diggers.
So right away I said, you know, this is definitely the videos I want to watch. These guys like to have fun. They're also out there, you know, being serious about what they're finding. So that's kind of where it started, and I started commenting on your videos.
Right, and Trooper Bri stood out, well, for 2 reasons. We thought he was a cop. And secondly, his comments were an absolute riot. And Keebs and I had been talking, you know, on this side, saying, do you see that trooper guy, Bri? His comments, they're a riot, but, you know, is he a cop? I mean, what's going on here? Right, so you continued to watch and comment through that season, through that summer, and did I message you or email you?
No, I had finally watched, you know, I'm still commenting on the funny stuff and you're replying, and, you know, I'm not thinking anything of it. It's just me posting in videos like I tended to do. But finally we came up to episode 59, which was the cleanup party, or the cleanup video. So I put a comment in there about offering to send you guys some stuff, including what I was calling at the time Trooper Bri's apple pie, and a couple other things. And obviously we got a hold of each other. I got a mailing address, and I did wind up sending you guys up some stuff.
Which ended up being the episode Highly Collectible, which for us is a classic.
Mailbox time.
From the mailbox. Trooper Bri always leaves fantastic comments for us.
Is this his piss bottle?
Thanks, Brian.
Nice. Piss jugs.
That's a trucker bomb.
You got the BB bottle.
You're out in the open road, you ain't got time to stop, buddy. You just
yeah,
toss it out the window.
Have a cold.
I want to drink it.
I got the trucker's piss bottle here.
Girls really like it.
friggin'
Right now, my face is like slipping off my head.
So with that package became the birth of the Trooper Bri trucker bomb. And you didn't even know what a trucker bomb was at that time?
Nope, and I don't remember where it got called the trucker bomb, and I really didn't know what a trucker bomb was up to that point. I was literally making this apple pie liqueur, and to make it, I would put it into a big gigantic 160-ounce glass jug to let it do its thing. And then when I was ready to give it to friends, I would put it in the Poland Spring, the little, whatever they are, the 18-ounce plastic bottles that apparently truckers like so very much.
Right, so the funny thing is, since the birth of that being the TB 3 years ago, over 3 years, you've actually gotten quite the amount of requests for the recipe, haven't you? You've sent that out to a lot of people.
I have. I think I've even posted it a couple of years ago in the SDN information files. There's a place in Stealth Digger Nation on Facebook that you can upload different types of files, and that recipe's been there for quite a long time, actually.
It had been highly secretive before that, though.
Ooh.
You got me good. My mouth was open.
Oh.
Cut!
Cut. Oh, you cut it all right.
So after that episode of Bri sending us a package and having great items in it, we continued staying in contact. We had hooked up at a metal detecting event the next spring, but then it came down to the big one, episode 89, where all these people that we had been meeting online and had come over to the group, we figured now's the time. Let's see if we can get together with some of them, but it ended up being a whole bunch of us. So you came up for the big one.
The big one. Yeah.
That was a blast.
Yeah, there was Kurt from the Hoover Boys who had just barely started up their group with Bri and
Shotgun.
Wayne came up from Pennsylvania. So yeah, a lot of people who
Well, it was good because we got a lot of us together. You know, you'll see a few clips here, but you should really go back and check out that video because it's the largest thing I've ever made at an hour and 40 minutes.
almost 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, that took weeks to make. So after the big one, we hooked up with Trooper Bri again, and it was just the three of us who had gone out, and we went to an area that was new to us, right? You had found that location?
Yeah, yeah. And that was episode 92, Buckets.
Right, and the reason why it's called Buckets is he and I are just doing, you know, normal metal detecting, approaching this
Real
site.
metal detecting. I was on orbit.
This guy's on orbit, disappears for a while, and you actually walked back out without your machine and shovel.
Well, there I was, minding my own. You can see right here, this wall's built way up to keep this level. So I was coming along here because of that. I thought, well, a lot of work went into it. And for reenactment purposes, I stood these rocks up the way they were when I came upon them. And of course, it rang up really nice. And I was like, well, I'm thinking maybe well, so I moved the things. I flip. That's as far as I'm going. I'm not going to do it.
Well, get your machine. Swing over. I want to see what it...
That magic number.
What are you seeing? A plastic bag?
Yeah, a plastic bag. Boy, if several heads roll out of that, that'd be the end of my metal detecting days.
Yeah, dude, this is odd.
It's sealed.
Is it heavy?
Look for a name or something.
You gotta be kidding me.
Well, Henry?
I didn't even want to dig it up. That's why I came and got you guys. I was like, this is not right.
What's the first thing you think of when you find buckets wrapped in plastic bags buried way out in the middle of the woods?
Covered in a pile of rocks. And honestly, I would have been just as happy to put them back, cover them up, go home. But did we convince him to be the one, or did he just...
I think it was a mutual 50-50.
So Trooper just got that one out of the ground, and there's another one beside it.
Wow.
I did not drive 2.5 hours
Right.
to not find out what that was. Go ahead, take a guess. You guys only had to drive 20 minutes or half an hour, and you could have gone back any time.
Yeah,
I think we were going to find out what was in those buckets. How about some breath savers?
What? Are you kidding me?
Somebody's buried their survival kit out here.
Let me see.
There's a whole bunch of survival stuff there. I think there's a MRE. Yep.
Oh my.
Congratulations, Henry.
Is that chocolate? And sea rations?
Chocolate covered cookie bar. Sterling Foods, San Antonio, Texas. This is somebody's survival kit out here.
What are those picture frames?
No.
Applesauce.
Oh my god.
That's not even on the bucket list. It was buckets.
Right. So you were there for a remarkable find. Joe has a question for you about finds.
Quite simply, what is your white whale?
If I had to put it, white whale, and I'm not going to get into anything ridiculous as far as fantasy finds or what's on the bucket list. I would say, and I've seen people dig them, I've seen them, I really want one bad, is a fully working colonial shoe buckle with the brass innards. Brass tongue and shape that still fully functions. Just something that I really want to dig someday, just your ordinary run-of-the-mill colonial relics, if there's such a thing.
All right, so cool. So that's a thing that you'd really like to dig. Kind of like, you know, personally, I would love to find, like, well, I mean, I would guess it would be a hard find, but I would love to find a musket ball mold cast. That would be a tremendously cool find. And it's not out of the realm of impossible.
No, and I'm not sure if that would have been something that would have been in most people's homes that would have owned that type of equipment, or that was just something that was done, you know, locally by maybe the few blacksmiths that might have been in the area or something like that. That history I'm not very akimbo to.
So back to the beginning, or somewhat beginning. Since you've been involved with us, you came over to Facebook.
I did.
You've been an admin pretty much since you got there.
Yep, you put me right into the old slave trade there as an admin,
right,
whipping the troops into shape.
So Bri does a lot for Stealth Digger Nation and the group, and I just want to thank you.
Thanks.
Great.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. It's just been great being part of the journey. It's been a blast over the past 3 years. Just the opportunities and the people I've met. Little work ain't nothing when it comes to friends.
Yeah. So we're hoping to see more of TB in this coming season of 2018. Hopefully everything with schedules and stuff like that works out for everybody. What are your desires, thoughts? What's your outlook for the coming season in the Continuum?
Just say get out. I'd like to, this year I've got new plans. I'd like to detect with more folks down in my area in Connecticut. That already happened, we know, with Mike Lyman. Definitely going to be working more permissions. I live in a town that has some 1700s history, and even the whole area around me is all 1700s and 1800s. So getting more permissions, that's going to be part of my goals for the year. Obviously coming up here, doing a little more hunting with you guys, meeting more of Stealth Digger Nation and local detectorists is pretty much it. I don't have a ton of goals. You know, let things fly the way they fly.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, you have basic desires, but just let it flow.
Yep. Let it fly by the seat of your pantaloons.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll let it fly.
Let's plug your channel.
My channel?
Yeah, man, you got a great channel. You make great videos.
Yep, and they're starting back up again. I took a little break from 2017 when I couldn't get out as much, but check out my channel, Trooper Bri, if you haven't already. A lot of it's all colonial cellar hole hunting, and I've done pretty well over the past 2.5, 3 years of video making.
Yeah, it's great. It's another dimension to the Continuum, really. It's
good stuff.
Yeah, it's just cool to be able to see when everyone gets together here, but I love seeing the videos that you guys make while you're not here. So it's like filling in the gaps. All right, well, time to go. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this. If you're not subscribed, consider it. Definitely hit like. And being that this is one of the non-Thursday Continuum videos, so you don't miss videos that may pop up like this, you want to hit the notification bell. So hit the bell.
The bell. Press the button.
So when these videos pop up, sperm of the moment, you'll get the ding, 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 and you come over and watch. So, all right. So how do we want to end this one?
How about goodbye?
That's it.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
It's not very
Oh, okay.
theatrical, or I guess we'll just end it.
See ya.